Hello, what is up? It is I, Deducer, back again with some more Five Nights at Freddy's movie news, and this one's a big one. So over the course of the last several days, I've been contacted by a lot of people who have claimed to be part of the filming for the movie. And at first I was obviously skeptical, but as they began sending me leaks for exterior scenes, I began to believe them. And thus began the eventful month of November, where we got leaks ranging from direct on-site recordings of some of the filming going down, as well as casting calls that gave us some insightful details into the roles that will be played in the film. And later in this video, I'll be posting the biggest news drop about the movie that I haven't posted about yet. So make sure you stick around because you won't want to miss it. But I think it's best we start off with the earlier part of last month, where we had videos taken on October 19th, located at the original Pizzeria spot, where they filmed for the first movie. Well, if you took the time to check out all of these videos, you would see these weird looking mysterious wooden pillars, which we actually found out looks very similar to the support beams used on the facade of the first pizza place. So it's possible that all this was planned to be where they made the second pizzeria. However, since then, it's been over a month with no construction added, but we're still looking for other possible locations to this day. And during this time, just a week later, we confirmed that Matthew Lillard's filming would begin on November 4th.
So we're about to start. That's why I have this crazy beard. Really dramatic. But I go to work to film the sequel in 8 days. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. 10 days, somewhere in there.
And around when this clip was shown off, Matthew actually started going on interviews and conventions where he revealed some interesting details about the movie's focus on atmosphere and action sequences.
Collectively, the filmmakers listened to some of the criticism that they got, and I think they're growing as filmmakers, and I think this film is going to be tonally a little different. I think we're going to have a lot more things that the fans wanted to see the first movie. Look, I think there's going to be I think it's going to be an action-packed film. I think it's going to be very exciting, and I think fans, I think this is fan-centric, and I think they're gonna love it.
But after this, the news really started to slow down, as we didn't get enough info for a few days, up until November 7th, where we got our first look at some of the characters showing up in the movie. Because on one of the official websites for the casting, where you can apply and sign up to be in the movie's filming, they ended up posting multiple calls for casting of the film Music Box, which we knew is actually the production title for FNAF 2. And fun fact, the early title before even that was called Chime Productions, which I think it was a right move to change the Music Box. Well, in these casting calls, we can see that they're looking for actors in the Chalmette area, which is in New Orleans, exactly where the first movie was actually filmed at. And it says here they're looking for students, which is interesting because just a few posts later, they began looking for students on a bus. Now, it may be obvious by now from these posts that they're filming for some sort of scene at a school, which you'd be correct for assuming that, because weeks after this, they actually leaked a video from the set of the school that was posted by a fan who spotted the filming from their house.
I'm outside, and they've been filming at the school, and they have these fake buses called East Lake Middle School. That's not what this middle school is called, obviously. And look, they even changed the sign. They have a custom sign that says East Lake Middle School right there. And they're filming FNAF 2 in Chalmette.
This was really insane for one of our first leaks of filming. As in the videos, we can see that the scene is focused around some sort of science fair, which we believe Abby will be attending.
So it's early in the morning. They're already back, kind of blocking the entrance a bit. There's like directors and stuff. There's the buses. You get a bit of a clear shot of what those look like. These are all cars from like 2005 lined up. Again, I'll go and get a clear shot.
But before this, during the casting phase, they also posted about needing science fair judges. And this aligned with the filming dates that the fan posted on. Well, this wasn't even the first filming video we got of one of the scenes in the movie, because way before any of this, someone actually posted onto TikTok. And I myself ended up finding it, and what I saw was pretty intriguing.
They're filming right there. There's 2 children and a dad. They're camping. It's like a cookout. They've moved on to shooting a car scene with a car now with luggage.
It was mentioned how it looked like 2 sons and a father camping, alongside another scene they filmed back to back just across the street, where it was described to be a car scene with luggage. Now, I think the most obvious theory surrounding this is that it's both younger Mike and Garrett playing around, while Afton lurks around driving his 1979 Ford Fairmont. This could maybe even be before Afton kidnapped Garrett, and he's plotting his plan by driving around and following them, which could make for a really intense scene. But between all of this, there were more casting calls put up on the site, where they revealed our first look at some of the official actors playing playing some of the roles, such as Ronald Chavez, who'd been cast to play the role of a day player, which is somebody who's hired on for a short-term contract. And we can see Jaquan Henderson was cast next to play Robert, and I personally think he'll be playing the role of a kid who possesses the toy or withered animatronics, or maybe even a character that's killed off early into the movie, similar to the break-in crew from the first film. And in between all of these castings getting revealed, we had one of the biggest interior leaks for the pizzeria to date, where one of the sections of the interior part of the pizzeria accidentally got leaked and posted onto one of the art designer's Instagram pages. But they took down the video immediately, as some of the plot of the movie started getting teased to us. As more castings came up, we noticed that they were looking for vehicles specifically after the year of 2005, which we know the first movie takes place in the year 2000. So the sequel could take place sometime around 2003 to 2005, which matches up with Abby being in middle school around this time. We also got some more characters revealed to be in the movie, when casting for roles such as a custodian were released, as well as neighbors, which, if that sounds familiar, it probably should, because the only sort of focus on neighbors we've had in the series is when Michael was scooped, and after every shift began walking home, slowly turning into a purple rotten corpse. So take that into consideration as we pivot over to possibly the biggest piece of info that was leaked, where we had it revealed that younger versions of the main characters will appear in this movie, because we've known there would be lots of flashback scenes. We just didn't know exactly what would be shown in these scenes, but we can kind of get an idea thanks to these 3 big new casting calls, where we can see casting calls being made for younger Mike, young Vanessa, and William Afton in his 30s. But before these calls were even made, an email was sent out to a fan stating there would be a young William in his 30s, Vanessa would be 10 years old, and Mike somewhere around 10. And this was sent out way before any confirmation that we would see this. And some of the facts are slightly different than the latest version, that being Vanessa is stated to be 10 rather than 8, and Mike is around the same age, rather than 8 as well. But maybe plans have changed since then, or perhaps the casting calls are just trying to avoid giving away all the details. But we got more details surrounding a possible diner scene, thanks to these new castings for wait staff, and the role of a diner, which takes orders and delivers food/drinks specifically at diner locations. Now this probably sounds oddly familiar, because the first movie actually had a scene at Sparky's Diner, so maybe we'll be getting a Fredbear's Family diner scene as some sort of flashback in the movie, which I think could be really cool if done well. And even on the same day, November 15th, a lot more positions came out, such as castings for students on a bus, cosplay teens, and one of the strangest of them all, flirting moms. Now we definitely know the bus students correlate with Abby's school we talked about earlier, but the cosplay teens are very intriguing, because this points to some sort of Comic-Con-esque convention that could take place. Or maybe it could be related to a Halloween scene, because a few posts later, we can see casting looking for haunted house actors, which helps set a time frame for when this movie could take place, sometime around October to December. So maybe we'll get to see the cosplay teens dressed as characters from the FNAF 2 Pizzeria, attending a haunted house, which I think could be a pretty logical guess. Now, as for flirting moms, well, that's gonna be a bit harder to pinpoint, but we can make some pretty good guesses. Maybe we see Mike taking Abby to the grand reopening of the pizzeria, and as he's watching over her, some moms walk up to him trying to flirt and spark a conversation, which could make for a pretty funny scene. And we know the pizzeria will be active from these posts showing pizzeria trainees, which means they are currently hiring and training people to work at the pizza place, thus giving us a scene where the staff gets stuck inside and possibly killed off by the animatronics, which would help show off and give us some action sequences of the characters. Or maybe they're trainees set decades in the past for a flashback scene. We honestly have no clue. A post was made a few days later revealing neighborhood trick-or-treaters, confirming that this film is definitely set sometime around fall and possibly ending off around Christmas time. Now the next topic is actually surprising if true, because they casted looking for someone to play a dark-haired little boy. But that's not the most interesting part of the post, because further down, we can see the filming date set for December 1st through the 5th. And you know what else is set for the same dates? The role of birthday party kids. And one particular character from the FNAF series with dark hair and short in height is the crying child. Now you may be able to see where I'm going with this, because with this scene of the birthday party kids most likely being set in a pizzeria, it would be smart to assume the pizzeria in particular is Fredbear's. We may get to see the bite scene set in the same year as the games, but that's just a theory. But what's not a theory is this set video outside of where they keep all the decorations and props for the movie that a fan sent to me while driving around New Orleans. We know it's FNAF related thanks to these yellow signs titled Music Box. And days later on November 25th, there were some roles revealed for park kids from ages 6 to 14 to film on the same day as birthday party kids. And later, parents were cast to film for 2 days straight starting November 26th. The next day on the 26th, more casting was set looking for a Caucasian female, approximately 4 years old, to play the key role, which sounds very interesting to the story. And we even had calls for a sister and younger sister on the same day, and even filming some of the similar days as well. But our biggest piece of news wouldn't come for another week, when we got yet another set video posted online.
Here's the chunks. Look at the cones. Oh my, that's it?
That two-story house right there.
This? straight ahead. You're too straight ahead. Straight ahead. That's where you're filming at.
Oh
Turn the windows up.
oh my god.
Turn the windows
It says hot set.
Hot set filming.
Oh my god.
This house here's all dressed up too. This house all.
Oh my god.
That house here's all decorated too.
Now, when this video came out, a lot of people theorized in my comments section that this house could belong to William Afton, but I personally think that this could be Mike and Abby's new house. But what do you think? If you have any theories, please let me know and leave a comment below. And hit subscribe while you're at it for more FNAF content, because we got yet another leaked video back to back, where we can see a fan parked in the road where they spotted a purple looking car driving down the road, followed by a camera crew. Now, this leak was probably the biggest one with lots of information attached to it, because the person who took this contacted me and said they were driving to and from a prison that was nearby. Well, I confirmed this by going to Google Maps and finding the spot, where we could see a prison just 15 minutes away from the exact spot that the video was taken from, which is very telling. So maybe Afton is visiting Henry Emily after he's falsely accused and framed him for the murders he did decades ago. Or another possibility is that this is a flashback to when Afton was let go after not enough evidence was found to convict him, just like the games mentioned in the posters on the walls. Honestly, I would love to see something like this happen in the film. What are your thoughts on this? As the person who sent me this video also said that there was some filming going down at an old house of a friend of theirs, and they sent me the address. So this house may be part of the film, and I can confirm this next point of the news is definitely for the film, because a previous actor from the first movie who provided lots of behind the scenes images after the movie's release ended up making an Instagram story where they posted 2 slideshows showing a photo of them wearing a purple and green party hat with the caption "Day 2 completed." Now, we know this means day 2 of filming for a scene, but what scene this could be correlated to? Well, if we look back at all of the casting calls, one in particular stands out, because the birthday party kids filmed from December 1st to the 5th, and this post was made on the 3rd, so we definitely know this scene is in a pizzeria. But the party hat actually links back to FNAF 2, because in one of the party rooms, there's a green and purple party hat on one of the tables, confirming this is in fact a scene for the pizzeria of some sort. Now, whether it's a flashback or not is too hard to tell, but I'd place my bets and say it is. Now, I think it's time I finally reveal some news that a private source sent me in DMs, and it's that we'll be getting a scene set in the 1980s sometime around fall to late fall, somewhere in a pizzeria flashback scene. So take that as what you will, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.